Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 216 podcast co-op Crosskeys tournament. We are in the bracket stage. This is game number 2 between Zelga and Doctor-Marty versus Alaszun and Goomba. Alaszun and Goomba took game number 1, so Zelga and Doctor-Marty trying to get us to game number 3. I am Fear Agent. Joining me today is Zaf Gill. Zaf, how you doing, dude?
Dude, I'm cozy. I'm good. I'm excited for a good game 2, hopefully a game 3. But I mean, it's Crosskeys. It's co-op. It's co-op Crosskeys. Like, what's not to love?
It's so much fun, dude. I just love co-op Crosskeys. Like, obviously, I put the tournament together and stuff because the mode is so much fun. And you know, as much as co-op happens in Rando, this is like the first co-op Crosskeys tournament, and it's been super fun.
I'm shocked with how much I loved it. I'm also shocked by how difficult it was, given how much I love co-op veterans. And I was like, oh, well, like, you know, a couple keys can't hurt me that bad. Oh, yeah. They did.
Yes. Yeah. It's definitely a different beast than veterans for sure. And I like it. I just like Crosskeys in general. And adding a buddy to it is always a lot of fun. So really strong runners, some of the best just in general co-op or Crosskeys players. Now you put them together and see what happens.
I mean, the right side is basically like if you took, like, you have a 2021 Crosskeys champion, you have this year's runner-up on the right side, and the left side is probably one of the best co-op teams that exist, right? You have Zelga, who's probably the best player to never win a tourney, and then Doctor-Marty, who has been there like with him the whole time. In spite of this, like, this is one of the strongest pairings that we could ever hope for, and we get him in one of the best modes. Like, again, what's not, like, I am excited to see this because despite the fact that Alaszun and Goomba took game 1, it was close, and it was the difference of who makes the last mistake. And in a mode like this, like, you know, it could be super volatile and we could see a total blowout. We've seen like 115s and 120s in the tourney.
Yeah.
We've seen
yeah.
like, so it's gonna be good. Like, and
it's just there's so much to take into account, right? It's not just Crosskeys, right? Because you can put together the logic when you're playing a Crosskeys. You have time to like put things together, but it's so much about communication. And I know Zelga and Marty use separate trackers, so do you have a good enough communication to make sure that everything's tracked well? I think Alaszun and Goomba use a shared tracker, which helps a little bit, but you still have to put the pieces together faster than you would normally in a regular seed. So
yeah,
here we go.
I'm actually dumbstruck that Zelga and Marty use the co-op tracker, or don't use the co-op tracker. So
yeah, there's people that are used to the Dunka tracker that just it's their go-to.
Yeah, not a bad start for Sank. At Lumberjack, you know, whatever. This is actually probably one of the best setups for, I feel like, co-op, because then you can split your Hyrule Castle key scums if you want.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. There could be way worse. Like Ganon is obviously worse because then it's guaranteed. A small key or like Magic Bat is always kind of terrible when you see it there. But Sank is not bad at all.
Goomba getting some nice bomb drops, and then Zelga also getting some nice bomb drops by going to pod. So, you know, early resources really not so bad. Zelga also having the advantage of the quick Houlihan. How do you and Moogle open this? Because, like, obviously, the first couple minutes are even more volatile than usual, and so you want to get things rolling as fast as you can.
Yeah, we did the kind of what Goomba and Alaszun are doing. Actually, no, Moogle did the standard like go to potion shop, and then I started from Sank and just kind of winged it.
Gave it the old wong.
Yeah.
I was listening, so Goomba and Alaszun, like, these are both Houlihan runners, and also makes me giggle that Zelga isn't having to do the Houlihan of this team, because I know that he's like been converted. Goomba had started off doing this like really quick hop over to Hylia, because if Sank is in a good spot, then you just say, okay, I can easily get my Houlihan whatever, and I'll just come back to Flute 2 whenever. So...
So the beginning, like first 25, 30 minutes is going to be pretty hectic because we're checking so many entrances like right away. I do want to shout out our trackers today, Lady Laura Linda and Wind Fox doing the tracking. This is a lot to track. You know, so much is happening. We see the Thieves Town Big there from the uncle. So huge shout outs to our trackers. Really appreciate the work they do and volunteering their time to make sure that we don't look like complete morons. Early bottle, and we did see Sick Kid somewhere. So
Sick Kid was at Hylia, so that's not a really bad check for Alaszun. I think like if he wants to cut the route, because you can get to CAC pretty easily. So
definitely pick up early hearts when you can.
Oh god, mode.
Because you know you're cutting your checks in half in theory. So you know a lot of times you end up with less.
You got the normal co-op checks in half, and then like, oh yeah, I found a heart container and 6 key pod. Oh yeah. All
right, early pet is dead. 3 minutes in. How do you feel about taking connectors early? Are you one to just start checking connectors?
It's really ought to depend on like my CAC access. So like Arm and I were kind of in the mood of like, if we've got a good way to cut a route or like someone's close, like just start sticking your head in connectors and go. But like this is a weird seed too, because you've got reasonable access to things, but it's not the most convenient. So you're maybe thinking like, all right, I want to at least wait a little bit, like kind of do your more conservative bit until you've got both players in CAC. But I'm always kind of I like to peek my head out if I can, and then I get punished so many times by like, all right, well, I just got stuck out of hammer pegs. That's it.
Early hook shot. That's a really nice.
Oh, that's so nice.
I like using the B there to check bottle vendor. It's an early heart container. You're not going to complain about it.
Oh, you're not complaining about that at all.
Little money farm spot if you do need money. Coming out of the Castle 1 or Castle Tower connector there, which is nice so you don't have to orphan if you don't have a Master Sword or...
it's also really nice too, because I don't think that they had done the castle like shimmy yet, so like this is even better for them.
Yeah. Skull Woods here, just $20. Yeah, the big difference in game 1 was that Moon Pearl. It was in Lava Chest, and Goomba and Alaszun got it like 9 minutes in, and Zelga and Doctor-Marty got it like 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
And Doctor-Marty and Zelga were able to keep it close, but that, you know, ended up being a pretty big factor. Let's see if the Moon Pearl plays a little bit more evenly this time. Up on the mountain early.
I don't even see how Goomba got there. Like, that's just how crazy
this is. I know. Yeah. You also see, what's funny is when you're playing co-op and you're especially trying to, you know, track all. There's our first sword. Nice. The entrances, you'll see runners running into walls and stuff.
Yeah.
You're trying to track.
My favorite was Arm being like, yeah, I'm up on the mountain, and like suddenly half of the entrances are gone. He's like, I'll tell you how to get there soon. That's a really nice find at that 300 rupees, right? Like just in general.
Flooded spot gives us the desert small. Got Thieves Town big and Thieves Town small. That's always interesting.
Ooh, yeah. And that's a good situation too, where you have those keys available, so you can send one runner in early without a hammer, and then if it happens to be the case.
We just saw Turtle Rock right, which again was the big kind of holdup for Zelga and Marty. Do you think that's on their mind at all? Do you think,
God, yeah.
Yeah. No real way to get through it this time, but
yeah, I suspect for them that's gonna be one of those things where they kind of giggle and be like, "Oh yeah, haha, that happened." Because again, like they're gonna brush this off. Like
totally. That's how you get 5-1 in the tournament. Is you got to be able to brush those sort of things off and just keep going. How much bunny walking do you like to do? You see Goomba did just a smidge.
With as much as they still kind of have left, and with the mountain kind of still in play, I'm probably cutting my route and not doing it as much. like it wasn't a bad connector to get back to for the bunny walking, but here with the hook shot, with a lot of mountain left, I really want to get back there as soon as possible, even if it's not fully in logic, because that's probably gonna give me more options and more versatility than just sticking my head out into half of Vu, half of North, like Dark World, everything else. So
Yeah.
Did y'all have sort of like an exploration, like, hey, Moogle, you do this, I do that?
Nope.
Okay, again, just kind of winging it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I run my entire life. It's just like, who needs to plan? Just go. Let's just go with it.
That's one of the things I love, though, is like so many good teams. Like, again, like, you know, you and Moogle probably have like really just good, like, chill co-op synergy, but like so many good teams of like, hey, I've got really good co-op, like, intuition, we'll just do the thing and make it happen. And like, it just worked. Like, so many good teams that, like, I mean, the tournament was stacked.
It was. It really was.
It really was.
Yeah.
Yeah, also glove on Desert Ledge, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah,
that out.
so we... So we can find a connector over to Desert.
Yeah. And
how did you enjoy yourself in this tournament?
I mean, we got a rough schedule. Like, Arm and I had a good time, and honestly, it was our cooldown after League, because that, like, just kept going and going.
Right. You had a pretty good run in the league, huh?
Yeah, we had an okay run, but when we came to this, it was like, hey, we have a lot of fun in co-op. We have a decent, like, I would say, like, we're both decent Crosskeys players, and this was, like, a really fun proof in the pudding that, like, we're trash at co-op Crosskeys. Because, like...
It's tough. Co-op Crosskeys is tough, man.
Yeah, but we had such a good time, too. Like, we played teams, and we played people that I don't think we really would have had the opportunity to.
Look at those.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, getting a chance to... I think the biggest thing for me was giving people the opportunity to play this mode, because, again, there's been a million tournaments in the last 5 or 6 years, but no co-op Crosskeys. We've had plenty of co-op tournaments, but no co-op Crosskeys. And I think giving players the opportunity to play it, I think, kind of opened people's eyes to one, how much fun it is, and two, how hard it is.
Yeah,
it's tough.
I'm really grateful, by the way, shout outs to Moogle, who is in chat, that the co-op tournament is happening again. Because, like, I think this and League kind of really showed, one, there's such a huge love for co-op tourneys, and you have such good turnout. Like, immediately, you had, like, oh yeah, I've got, like, 40 teams, no problem. Like, those boots are kind of filthy. Okay, what's up?
Yeah, no, I was just going to talk about those boots.
Yeah.
At the end of Spiral Cave, that really sucks. I mean, they do have hook shot to get through Spiral Cave, but it's just one of those, like, you're kind of waiting for the boots and a sword to get through. So.
I don't think it's going to take the right side. I was thinking about that one to get to, because seeing Spiral, like, you see Spiral early and you have a way to clear it. You want to do it because, again, like, Goomba died on the mountain. There are connectors to go to. It's not the worst Spiral Cave, right?
But yeah, when you have hook shot, it's fine.
Yeah.
And it's a good location. We're going to take a look at, there's our first glove. So that second glove over on Desert Ledge there is going to be our Titan's mitts.
Okay, yeah. And feasible, you know, we may actually never need that glove as well. It can just taunt us for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, you were talking about connectors. Like I said, like, seeing that glove does definitely change, like, the general mental calculus to be like, hey, we probably need to find that connector. But the second they find Paradox, go, okay, never mind, scratch that. Yeah, and I mean, like, Goomba and Marty immediately following up, just because no early flute, right? Like, and we have the Sank in not the worst location.
Yeah.
But the connectors haven't been the most kind, and, like, I've already put my map tracker to the side. Like, I'm not gonna bother with that shit.
Yeah. There's our second glove.
Okay. Well, yeah. So anyway, we have mitts now. Not a whole lot of keys too, so, like, you know, you really do want to get around to entrances, and this gives you a ton, right? You know, you're gonna find your way back to King's Tomb eventually. Alaszun literally gonna get gloves, and the other, like, crazy thing too is, like, right now you have a lot of follow the leader going on, because one player found a glove, second player is gonna find it, like, okay,
right, big items.
Yeah, big items. And it's one of those nice moments, and I'm sure that y'all had it, where, like, okay, everyone slows for a second, I'm gonna play follow the leader, I'm gonna get my stuff, and then, like, then the chaos comes back, so.
Yeah, totally. I don't know about you, but I'm always putting off South Shore until I can get a glove.
Oh,
Or at least, at minimum, check everything else before yeah, I
in
have to.
solo cross keys, south, like that south loop is the bane of my existence, right?
Yeah.
But like in co-op again, like it's not so bad because someone's likely gonna have to go through it. It's really unlikely that you're gonna find nothing that player two, hello, haha. And I'm sure that like Alaszun and Goomba are giggling at like, hey, we have glove into mid so suddenly. But again, like, you know, both teams have this, and now it's sort of like the how do we. This is the you know, watching these runners go. Okay, we find these items. Like, how do you slowly cover those tracks without just
Right.
like stopping everything you're doing, which will be kind of a nice like.
So we've seen Zelga over in Hyrule Castle. I think one of the entrances was going towards the desert. One was an Ice Rod Cave, and we see the other here in Village of Outcast.
And I think this is where Doctor-Marty and Zelga are probably gonna go. Okay, we don't have that much left in the light world. Let one player start doing that and get these bunny entrances going. Because even though you have boots, right? Like in the sucks, you do have boots. You definitely don't want to be spending boots time doing this walk. I don't think they found the mountain yet. So maybe they're thinking, okay, we need that connector. We need to do this. So
totally forgot about the mountain. I don't even know how Goomba got up there, but
I don't know how Goomba got up there.
with the hook shot though, we've got access to basically the entire mountain.
Yeah.
All right, bomb shop. Hera and Swamp Palace are 5-6 today.
You love to see that. You've already got the big key. The big keys, both of them actually, in your inventory.
Yeah.
Old Man Risk is front. Okay,
perfect.
Yeah, chat, keep us honest, because like I said, 4, like it's nuts. Even with our poor trackers doing double overtime.
All right, so the library gives us a map to Gan's Tower, so thanks for nothing.
I really appreciate that.
So the mountain was out of logic so far, right? Like,
yeah,
we don't have a lamp or the flute to get up there, but that's not going to stop. Speaking of 5-6 crystals, one being Hera, here we are.
Hello, yeah.
Can't beat it though.
Yeah, but a really quick 4 items. Like, it's just a 4-item cave at this point, right?
Yeah,
so,
that's true. Yeah.
Especially with, you know, your bread pots, your whatever. Easy peasy.
You see Pod over on Alassun's side.
Yeah, those are the bombs that Zelga found at the first minute. But this time, you know, they do have the two small keys. Yeah, which is
also a crystal, as we see from Alaszun there.
How many times do you and Moogle go, oh crap, we have so many maps, and like you start doing the frantic like 30-minute map check?
Yeah. Pretty much every time.
Okay, yeah, it's a crystal. When'd you get maps? You didn't say anything.
Yeah, never calling out maps. Usually, I mean, usually you just skip those. But
yeah.
All right, with 2 keys, you can actually check quite a bit here.
I think it would not shock me if Alaszun does go back, but there's also World 2 where, like, you know, this is where like your keys are at a premium, because suddenly, like, if player 1 goes, okay, yeah, like, we don't need pod, like, suddenly go, okay, you know, oh god, where are my pod keys? It's not usually so bad because Crystal, Palace of Darkness, you're probably going to get some, but like, at that 2 to 3 key ranges where things get a little bit weird, because you're like, I don't know that I want to spend any more in case, like,
see, I think 2 is safe to spend, because you need 1 for the back, right? And you need 1 to get into the dungeon if you don't have the boa and hammer. So I think you know, spending those 2 keys is fine. You still got 4 out there.
Yeah, but
you see Laser Bridge too here.
We do see Laser Bridge, yeah.
Trash. Also pendant TR. So good.
Love to see it. But also doing what I kind of expected them to do is they'll be kind of conservative on keys and like watching them throughout the tournament up until it's like kind of logically load bearing, because in like, you know, I'm fortunate I get to listen to them a lot, like do practice and whatnot, and they'll basically be calling out like some of the logic. So maybe that second key was really buried and Alaszun doesn't want to spend it yet, and I totally understand that.
All right, Ganon is at the uses fair. I don't know if you saw that early on, but that's good information.
Yeah, I know we saw well. I don't know what's behind
The well's locked behind the
hammer.
the hammer or the mirror.
Oh yeah,
and,
true,
and
true.
the 2 mitts, which we have. We have those 2 mitts, but no mirror. Still looking for that moon pearl. We are only 16 minutes in. Think about how much has been done in the first 16 minutes. It's pretty nuts.
I mean, and this is the crazy thing too is like you have boots and mitts. Like suddenly, okay, I'm gonna start doing a whole bunch of things. Like, and the worst part too, no sword with your boots. You're doing this run in the south shore. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be like looking at my other monitor. And I run into a crab.
Yeah. Try to think about what we haven't seen. We've been to the eastern area, right?
We've been to the eastern area. I think that we've seen
Ice Rod Cave. Like Zora is in Logic, but nobody's really got cash for that.
Alaszun will be the closest, I think, if he Houlihan's, and then I think Doctor-Marty has not turned in that bottle, so like they'll be close to the money. Like that 306 kit is actually really nice for all players to get there if that's it. Yeah. I don't know that we've got too many more entrances to follow, so they're probably thinking like, okay, like who's the first person to get to Zora money, and then where do you kind of go for your bunny walking? Because like you were saying a few minutes ago, it's like this is starting to look like that might be an option.
Yeah, for sure. So the Alaszun did the first check in Hyrule Castle. That's the only in Logic check.
Yep.
That they've got. The rest is all locked by the Hyrule Castle Small. And we know that the escape is locked by Lumberjack or Hyrule Castle Small in the lamp. So I guess he's just saying, well, I'll check the front and then leave the back for Goomba.
I'm shocked he didn't set up the scum, but at the same time too, it's one of those things where if that's it, you just have to commit to that and like
I think scumming in this mode is a little tough.
It's a little bit harder, especially in this like we were talking about, like the first 20 minutes are completely chaotic. You have so much to do. You're on 4 or 5 hearts green mail. It's not a terrible thing to do, even though guards are only doing a half a heart. But like, these are teams where that margin of 20 seconds of setting up a scum is actually the difference. So like, you definitely want to be mindful of like, how can I do this? And if you find Hyrule Castle at half a heart, it's great. And when you don't, it's like, okay, well, yeah, I'm committing to this.
There's Zora money, by the way.
Yeah, we'll take that.
It just went away because he did
scum it back. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right. Nothing in the back of pod that I've seen yet. All right, so Chomps is in Logic with that hook shot.
Yep. Yeah, and we'll definitely just be burning this key because you have obviously nothing to even kill the Pokey with.
Yep. I can never get that bomb there coming out. Oh, there we go. There's another entrance to the mountain.
Yeah, and they are probably much happier then. It's not as though they didn't want to do like the dark save and quit because they've got boots, they've got hookshot fighting, that's not a problem, but this is much nicer too. And probably again what they were looking for. Like, again, it's not as though like breaking Logic past this is going to be a problem, especially with all the items you have. But like you said, the Moon Pearl was the crux in game 1. You definitely don't want to accidentally leave that somewhere when you're like 40 minutes deep into chaos, so...
Oh, Doctor-Marty taking the death there to the Chomps. It was no real good spot for him to get to. Goomba using that desert key that they all got early and didn't really get anything on the right side.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Marty kind of has to go back and do this. He's committed the time and committed the small key, so...
Yeah, that's rough. So, according to chat, Zelga pulled the Hyrule Castle Small out of the maze of pod, which is locked behind 6 pod keys. That's pretty funny. And
we've got so we've got both that and the castle tower key. So in this case, Zelga's not going to have to worry about the scum. Gonna probably just go and do this because you're completely fine, completely happy with that.
Yep. We're going to give us our first look, I believe, on the east side of Death Mountain. So let's see if there's anything here. All right, round 2 for Marty. Let's see if he can get past these chomps this time.
I mean, it's so rough too because you don't have anything that goes through barriers. You're like, all right, I gotta place my bombs decent. Get to this left side.
Oh gosh. Oh
my dude!
That's so scary. That was so scary. Made it through, gets $20. Doesn't take the port of the east exit or the west exit, so that's a little unfortunate. That doesn't put him up on the mountain there.
Yeah. You Marty saw his life and my life flash before his eyes there. Holy moly.
That was
man.
crazy how close he was to those chomps. All right, Thieves Town over here, which we have both the big key and the small key for.
And we just ripped the hammer out.
Oh, we did? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I don't know about you. Yeah, I don't know about you. 5-heart hammer blind is not in my wheelhouse regularly, so
yeah, I don't love it, but you know, I think you got to just go for it.
I think you got to go for it, yeah. I mean, the worst thing here is that it's 7 items, and then if you die on blind, you come back to it because you've seen a sword. Like, and if that's just it, you go, okay, well, you know, crap, like, I have to play better next time.
Ice Rod there for Pendant Turtle Rock, always early. Marty did take the Turtle Rock East or West exit now, so and get that information.
It's a good division of time too. Zelga's probably gonna go to the back of Hyrule Castle here. He's, you know, Marty's saying like, "Hey, I found the mountain." It's like Zelga's like, "All right, well, I've got this done, if nothing else," and then they'll both get up there and they'll find these items. So like, all things considered, the seed's been kind of at a pleasant, like, you know, you found everything, but it's not been chaotic. It's like it's not like we have boots in a mirror where suddenly it's like I gotta mark 100 things, and if I miss something, oops.
Yeah.
Although, you know, chat pointing out too that it is green pendant TR, so okay, like it's got a little bit more oomph to it, but we're still many keys behind.
Yeah. That's not even on.
Yeah, it's not on my radar. It's like
Bombos is nice. We saw that I think from Goomba earlier. Can't do anything with it yet. Just don't have a sword. Yeah, Marty gonna pick up that heart container. Smart.
Yeah.
If you watched game 1, Marty was living on the edge with very low health. So I'm excited for him to get some heart containers. Make it a little bit easier for him.
Dude, Marty is secretly a monster.
Super monster. Yeah, he's so
good.
His cold stare fight in game 1 was
phenomenal. He's also got like a sub 130 like PB, by the way. So it's nothing in the
Hyrule Castle is trash. Yep.
Yeah.
Have we seen the old man rescue or the old man sorting spot?
I don't think we've seen the save and quit yet, actually.
Okay.
I was gonna call that. I was like, Goomba has them, and I don't think we've seen them. So
we are seeing our players kind of converge over here on the mountain, get their stuff. It's at Darklink's house. Okay, interesting. Okay.
I mean, you tell me that you have a hammer over here, I'm coming for that because we have the well, right? Like that's 5 items.
Yep.
The timing works out perfectly that like Goomba's at least going to be in the basement, and then Alaszun may just save and quit, or maybe do something in the front here and then go to the well immediately. So, or check other entrances depending.
Right. Yeah. We're looking for that moon pearl still. Another pod key. Pretty much seen everything up.
You would take those.
Nice fairy in the bottle there for Alaszun.
Alassun's gonna call that out that it's fairies in a bottle, and then Goomba's gonna mutter to himself like, "Oh God, I wish I had this."
Yeah. All right, got a big key to. Oh, there's a pod big. Interesting.
All right. Okay.
That still doesn't do much. Logically, you're still gonna need some keys for that. If anyone can do 5-heart hammer blind, it's Goomba, right? Like, dude's just a beast at this game.
I mean, all 4 of our runners can, but like Goomba comes out of retirement, it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna, you know, start playing Crosskeys again, etc. Yeah. Moon Pearl and Helma, chat, do not. Nuh-uh. Chat, no.
Nice phase 1.
Easy phase 1.
Yeah, it's when things get a little wild here, right?
Yeah.
All right, Marty with the hammer pickup. So let's share that with Zelga here. And oh no, did he pick up a fairy? He might have picked up a fairy.
I don't know that.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Blind just gets the best of him there. I think that's the right call. Is just to bail there and let Alaszun take care of it, since he does have that fairy and things get a little bit tough. And that just goes to show you, right? Like, it's not like these are new runners. These are some of the best runners.
Yeah. I mean, and this is the pain of co-op, right? So like you find this, you go, I gotta do it, right? Like the game gave me these keys. You want to think something's here.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a minute until we find out. Maybe Goomba goes and does the well, right? Oh no, he's going right back.
He's going right back in.
Yeah, I mean, with the location of where this is, you know, I don't know. It's tough. This is tough because now, you know, Blind starts at the top of the screen, and you got to kind of go attack, and he's higher up, so
yeah,
it's a little bit tougher to hit. He did pick up a fairy, so that's good. Going to pick up this heart and have all 5 hearts.
Yes, and your stun prize is hearts too.
I believe.
So like, yeah,
I believe. Gets aggressive. Already taken a death. I'm not sure where that was.
I'm not sure where that was either.
Maybe
Might have
Hellway?
been. Yeah, it's like, I mean,
Oh no. Okay. Those beams, man, you gotta watch out.
yeah, and Blind not playing nice and getting down the bottom of the screen.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I'm holding my breath. Dude.
Yeah.
This is scary. I think he's got it here. He's got it. Yep. Nicely done. What do we get for it? There it is.
Jesus,
There
man!
it is.
Oh no!
Good thing he went back, right?
I mean, good thing he went back. Pendant thieves. Zelga's missing this big key, by the way. And if Marty takes another death here, like they may just say nah. Like, and this is.
Man.
Yeah, Pendant Hammer Blind, excuse me while I puke a bit, because that's not it, Chief.
The rando gods are making sure that you earn it in this bracket phase or stage of the tournament, right? Like, that's just not free.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I would have died there and be like, Arm, good luck, man. I'm going to the well. Like,
Yeah, I would have left too. We got a bow there in Pyramid Fairy.
Okay. And I don't think Marty got this fairy either. So like if he's taking a 3 heart.
Yeah, his back of hair has been a little, or excuse me, of these times been a little rough.
A little stress, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so Goomba and Alaszun, Jimmy and Jim Jang have the Moon Pearl in hand for both runners. And again, that was kind of the difference in game number 1, was that is having that Moon Pearl for so much longer. It's not going to be a 30-minute difference for Zelga and Doctor-Marty as it was in game 1, but
Gotta hope not.
Doctor-Marty's on 2 hearts. Hopefully he checks the stun prize. Yeah, stun prize being hearts is nice. There's a bunch of hearts in the back here as well.
Like, I'm excited to see him clutch. At some point, by the way, Zelga found a fire rod. Well, we missed that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the trackers
right.
like, yeah. And that might be bad. I mean, I say bad, but like, again, you take a death here and suddenly Marty's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna get the fire rod. Like, I've got a well to do. I've got other stuff, so.
It's
Dark.
Gosh, Marty.
Oh.
Dashing into, just forget the boots, Doctor. Forget those boots.
Yeah, forget you have the A button until you get that pointy thing, man. He's only got the B in the bottle. Check that out. Ugh.
So Dark Cross had our fire rod. Oh my gosh.
Oh god.
I don't think he. Oh, I can't believe he got it. I did not think he was making it off that conveyor belt. All right, the big key to Ice Palace. I think this is our first look at the well.
Yeah.
I like this. Get those. Oh no, stun him first. Stun him, Marty.
Marty, yeah.
Another pod key there. I think that puts us up to number 4. and Zelga with a nice heart advantage. All right. Dr. Marty gave us an excellent cold stare fight in game number 1. Can you do the same with blind here? This will be big for his team if he can get this Moon Pearl. Great start. Eastern for Goomba.
Yeah. It's like everyone in chat, just will your energy into Marty right now, because holy moly.
Oh, man. It started so good. Man, phase 1 and phase 2 were so good, and then it just got away from him. Let's see if he goes back in. Maybe he can get that fairy first.
If he gets that fairy, he might go back in. Like...
All right, with a couple more keys, Alaszun back in the pod now.
Yeah. Because Alaszun at some point also ramping up right into silvers, ha ha ha.
Right.
When it rains, it pours.
Yep. I think they've figured out that there's got to be something in Thieves Town, like logically.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that they found has been out of logic. The Fire Rod, being one of them. Marty going into the Dark World though is no bueno.
Yeah, maybe Zelga's gonna be the one to tackle this. He might be saying, "Hey, look, I'm struggling here," and Zelga comes through. I didn't see all that was in the back of the well, but maybe there was another heart, just a little bit of something extra.
Okay, so we're getting a good picture of what we need. TR being the green pendant, Thieves Town being another pendant. So we just need to find our last pendant here.
Yeah.
And here we go with the bunny walking, unfortunately for Zelga and Dr. Marty.
I mean, when you rip out stuff out of the Thieves Town, right? Like, and the only thing that Marty's saying is, "I got a big key to pod." Yeah, pendant blind is a thing, but do you put all your eggs in that basket? Yeah, and I agree with what chat's saying. It's like, I think they know pot is a crystal, so at some point Zelga will get back there, get that big key and do it, and it's just the matter of time. They also do have this Hera, by the way, which we kind of forgot about in or at least I forgot about in the Chaos Everything, so...
Yep. You see the pause by Marty, them just kind of discussing, like, what is it that we're doing, right? Like,
yeah.
Turtle Rock Small there, and the big chest of Hera. Mimic Cave from Goomba. He's carrying the smith with him.
Bring that man home. It's homeward bound. Link to the past story.
Marty picking up an extra potion there.
Picking up a green of all things.
Yeah. It doesn't really have anything to do with the green potion. I think I like the fairy better than I like the green potion.
Maybe this is a PCU? Or seeing you rip something out of pod? Like...
Yeah, maybe. It's just, again, a really unfortunate Moon Pearl placement for the Dr. Marty, or the Marty carry.
I mean, that's just not even unfortunate. That's just gross by all players.
Yeah,
and Goomba took a death. Alaszun put on his blue suede shoes and clutched it out with an extra 6 hearts. But
yeah.
I think when they finally get that, they'll hope that there's maybe a disaster on the other side, because that's definitely something that you can take a death to and come back, because the equipment. Yeah.
Yep. I think the problem is just the location of Thieves Town. It just takes a while to get back to.
Yeah, so I respect doing these hindrances, but fish is in play.
Yep. The yellow frog getting quite the tour through the Dark World here.
Yeah, he paid extra for that vacation plan, and he's getting his dollary dues worth.
He really is. And with this trip into pod, does make a lot of sense for
Yep.
for Dr. Marty to pick up that potion there as well.
Yeah, I guess if nothing else, you've got the pod big key now, right? So like this is, I'm gonna get 13 out of 14, maybe 12 out of 14 more than likely. See if I can get some extra resources. You know, again, Zelga did get the. Actually, Zelga's done a lot of this, right? So this might just be like, hey, I didn't check these couple of things. Yeah.
Yep. Marty didn't want to apparently use his ice rod, so takes a little damage there from the anti-fairy. Height cave on Alassun's side. So we're actually, you know, pretty close to go mode, all things considered. We still don't have a sword. We've seen one. There's Canis Samaria in Skull Woods. We are going to need a Swamp Small. We are going to need the flippers.
Yeah.
We are going to need a couple of swords.
Yeah, we're at a couple of big keys, but like the thing too is that now we've got the entire world available for Alaszun and Goomba, and it's like, yeah, the one thing luckily is that we don't necessarily need that fire rod. So the second we find a fire source, we're feeling okay. With that Hyrule Castle small at some point that I'm pretty sure that Alaszun ripped out because he's got the CT small, he'll probably go back in there once he gets that fire rod. Like they will probably start playing. They're the flippers.
Wow.
They've got, I think, between the teams, like maybe 2 GT smalls. So like, you know, they're thinking the GT's got to show up at some point. So,
right. Yep.
A question from One-Eyed Gopher in chat when Zelda picked the TT map. So I think they've known that Thieves was a pendant. Much else isn't really in logic, so like they're probably putting it off, but at some point Zelda's gonna, like I think Hamza had said a few seconds ago, they're gonna have to go back anyway for that pod big that was in the big chest. So it's likely that like they're converging on that answer.
So the other bow was in pod then. I missed
Yeah.
that. Yeah, okay. That's the one that Alaszun picked up. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured that was kind of how we got to Silvers really quickly, but I definitely didn't have my eyes on the screen when suddenly those arrows turned white, so.
Right. Marty doing his best to save that one key. He's at 4.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's opened the front door.
Yeah, I feel like most of the stuff has been checked, but this is definitely the, hey, I'm at like a critical mass of checks and I don't want to do everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We picture this game one. No matter how many hearts Marty has, he's consistently on 3, no matter what. Love it. I love it.
Yeah, he's got some kind of script running in the background. It's like, I'm gonna take damage. He's got heart beeps when he's full, actually. Yeah.
It's the exact opposite. All right. Zelga into Thieves Town now. In a really good spot as far as hearts. And again, Zelga being one of the best, just overall, rando runners in the community in general. Skull Woods big at Spike Cave. Yuck.
Ew. Ick. Yeah. Zelda never getting that bottle, so even the fairy isn't an option. Like, I mean, he does know. I think he knows. I assume they know the stone prize is hearts. Like, he'll be able to get to 8 hearts, but
yeah.
Chat 8 hearts for Zelda. Surely this won't go wrong. Oh no! How are you gonna do the team study like that, chat?
Yeah. All right, nothing in the big chest of pod.
Yeah.
Marty not killing the boss. Okay.
I mean, Marty at 2 hearts. I don't know about you, but like my totally dark turtles is not my cleanest room of execution.
Yeah.
Can someone remind me what Crosskeys is? Good afternoon, welcome in. So Crosskeys is crossed entrances, so your entrances can take you anywhere in the world. They're all shuffled up, and they can be between worlds. And then keys is key sanity, so your maps, your compasses, your big keys, your small keys, they are now in every chest as well. They're no longer just in your dungeons. So everything's all topsy-turvy mixed up sideways.
He is going to go pick up his fire rod now.
Yeah, and that actually makes sense. It's like, we know where this is, so I can go back for that and then maybe go do turtles.
Again, here's the problem, right? Is that Zelga and Marty just haven't had the Moon Pearl this entire time, and Alaszun and Goomba have cleared out a lot of the Dark World, and gotten the flippers, gotten Samaria, gotten those big items that they're gonna get. Now, Zelga and Marty will get there, but getting that Moon Pearl as late as they are is just putting them in a rough bind.
Yeah, and it's not as though it's just like, hey, this is in a chest. Like I said, like Hammer Blind is not great. Also, by the way, love the item dash text to get the right pixel for the bomb jumps. Nice flute, by the way, in Skullwood's big chest.
Right, which is at Spike Cave.
Yeah.
Good times, yep. All right, blind for Zelga here is attempt number 1. Good start.
All right, hold your breath. If he does this damage, I'm gonna scream.
All right, took 1 hit.
Yeah,
but here comes the swears. If we had Dr. Marty's audio.
Yeah.
Nicely done though. Like,
dude, that was gorgeous. Yeah.
You see the save and quit from Dr. Marty going, all right, well, I guess I got to go kill Blind now. Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, they do know where the potion shop is, so Marty may be like, all right, I'm going to go put something red in that bottle.
All right, there's the flippers for Goomba. So we do need the swamp small. We've seen the dam. I don't think we've seen the actual swamp entrance. We've seen... And we still need that big key, and then we kind of need to figure out what our last pendant is.
Yeah, we've not gotten a ton of maps. Again, too, Alaszun and Goomba still know where that fire rod is, and that is not like your linchpin, but like you definitely got to get back there at some point, and the world kind of exploded when that happened. Yeah. So,
all right, chat informing us that swamp is at These Town, so that's good information. Right. I think we just saw Meyer from Alaszun. I think it's in the Meyer area.
Yeah, it's in the Meyer area. So that Skullwood's big key out of Spike Cave into the flute might actually be required, and that's also like a...
Sucks. It just sucks.
Yeah, it just sucks. Like I can't put it any other way.
Yep, it just sucks. Marty trying to get through there. Can't. Still no swords. We've seen 1 sword. It's on the top of Speck Rock, which is locked by the mirror. Need 2 more. Or we'll need at least a second sword to complete the seed.
Yeah, so Goomba getting that burner, by the way, because I'm pretty sure there are no connectors in the Meyer area. And
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you're gonna need it. And here's Meyer. Of course, there's always the possibility that Meyer has nothing and is a pendant, but
never something you want to do, by the way, with Fireless Meyer, but at the same time, you know, again, co-op Crosskeys or co-op, you're like, I found it, I got to do it. It's a 4-item cave.
Definitely, yeah. I think Zelga being in pod is gonna finish this up here as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, nice lamp. In the big chest of Meyer.
So remember how I said Fireless Meyer? I lied.
Yep. It's very convenient.
Yeah.
You know, Meyer goes from one of those dungeons where it's like can be really, really tough depending on your equipment. Silvers and a lamp, all of a sudden it's pretty free.
Yeah, and they do have the big key, by the way, which my eyes went to the tracker. So that's a completable dungeon. Actually, you know, our second possibly over here on our second total dungeon done on right side. You know, Zelga's about to get pod done. But the sequence isn't pretty to get here. Right, like, you know, like you said, we found the flute into this, and if you're behind to that pearl, your first thought isn't, I want to do Spike Cave. My first thought is, my world just exploded. I've got Mitts, Moon Pearl, everything else. I kind of want to do a ton of stuff. So there's a world where that gets deprioritized heavily.
Yeah. Marty not filling up on hearts before going into this fight. I think he did buy a potion, but
Yeah, he's got the red, so if nothing else, like he'll be fine.
it's just, yeah.
Dude, co-op Enemizer taught me one thing: is that blind at the top of the screen is no bueno. Like, nah.
Yeah, it sucks for sure. All right, pop that potion, Marty.
Marty. Yep, there it is. Dude, I love the Swiss cheese menu when you're like, I want to get to that item that's like a row and a column over, and then suddenly just gets really shitty to get to. Sorry, it's Speed Gaming. I apologize. Monday, and my coffee hasn't come in.
All right, Moon Pearl for all 4 runners now, and again, it just sucks for
Yeah.
Doctor-Marty and Zelga. You know, that spot is just not good for them. So I didn't see anything on the left side of Meyer. We did get a mushroom there in the chest there.
I love how Goomba doesn't want to take the time to do the item dash tech, so he's like, I'm just going to line this up first try, so I'll have to go back for my purple chest.
Yeah. All right. While all that was going on, also had a helmet kill from Zelga there. So
Yeah.
Zelga's got 2 crystals completed and is doing a good job of keeping them in this for sure.
Oh my god, we have sword number 1.
Sword number 1 in my.
Dude, my A button is no longer forbidden. I can actually like hit it. Holy moly.
It always sucks. You love to get the boots early, but not be able to dash with through enemies always kind of stinks. Another big key to Eastern Palace. Okay, another completable dungeon that we've seen already.
I mean, and this is one of those, like, the bottleneck was the pearl, right? Again.
Yeah.
And I think Zelga and Marty are doing the right thing of, like, we're literally splitting up the world in half, right? Like, we have got to explore this. Yeah. And the thing for them too is that, like, they probably think, like you said, they might skip on the spike cave depending on where it is. Actually, I forgot where it was. Because you've got the fine items. Oh, Mr. zelgadissan. You're looking for a GT, right? Like, you're looking for your big dense piles. So, like, I think they've got like a 5-item cave or 2 out there. They're looking for 16-item basement. Spike Cave is not on the radar. They're looking for a mire, like literally looking for a mire for a number of reasons, but like that's 4 to 6 items depending because they've got a fire rod. Spike Cave of the dam. So no. Yeah, Alaszun, you can't hookshot those. You've gotta give him the old boomerang if you want that. He's fine. Everything's fine.
Oh no. Does he have another fairy? Yes, okay.
Yeah, I think he did.
Everything's fine. Everything is fine. You look at it from... We're seeing it with the overall perspective of having all 4 screens. But, Goomba died on blind. Alaszun just took that death there as well. It's like, they have no idea where Zelga and Marty are, and so when those things happen, it's kind of like you gotta just stay calm, and having that fairy helps.
Having that fairy helps a ton.
The calmness for sure.
It also helps. I mean, for them, they're up a game. Where so even if that was a total thieves disaster, which it wasn't, they have no idea. Like they might actually think that the other side might have taken a death too, because they're probably not thinking, oh, we're shadowboxing perfection. Like, it was a 5-6 heart green mail blind.
Yeah.
I don't know what just happened with that duck interaction, but Berna said, "No, you're not." Keep that for a second. Love that for us. Okay, this is fake powder. Got it.
Yeah. Why not?
That fire rod could be a huge advantage at some point. I guess the counterpoint is that maybe, with TR not being a crystal and everything else, and if GT right side isn't load bearing, like they're not gonna care too much. I suspect they'll do it at some point because he does have it.
Yeah.
Although they don't really have a reason to use those connectors right now, so that is kind of awkward for a bit.
I mean, it is 4 checks, right? Dark Cross in the back. I don't think they've done that. So at some point, I feel like, yeah, it's gonna be worth. Meyer was a crystal, by the way, so check that one off the box. Or
the other reason I kind of wish Alaszun would do it is at some point Goomba's going to have to go back into pod, and getting that Hyrule Castle small is going to be one of those like, hey, you're going to need to get this. So
yeah.
I'm kind of shocked they haven't, but it might just be like, hey, we're doing this now, and then we'll figure that out momentarily. But
All right, so the flute was in Skull Woods, which they needed to do spike chest for. Great, spike cave. They do have this. Looks like Samaria information.
Yeah,
Doctor-Marty there, so that's good. Yeah, Alaszun and Goomba in pod together. Did we see this? Have we seen Vanilla Big Key?
I don't think. Yeah.
Looks like Doctor-Marty's going to give us a look at her shopping mall over here. See if we can find anything. I don't think. I mean, I could have easily missed this from Alaszun and Goomba, but I don't think we've been over here.
Yeah, and Chad pointing out something too. Like we're kind of talking about like it's a rough situation, but if this entrance back here is something good, it definitely swings a bit.
Oh yeah, it's not over.
Oh, it's definitely not over. Alaszun and Goomba are actually now in that like we're doing things deep, whereas Doug and Marty actually getting a huge like sweep of the world, which is kind of nice because like then you can kind of make your next decisions. Really well informed, and I think it's a good thing for them to like, hey, we kind of come back. We're not in a terrible spot. Speaking of good things in the back of Skull Woods, chat, keep your fingers crossed. Okay.
Ether. All right.
Swamp Small. Okay.
Oh, was that here in Blindside?
Yeah, that was bottom right of Blindside. So
interesting. Where was that?
That was at the back of Skull Woods. Speaking of,
okay. I'm not rooting for either team. I love all 4 of these players. I just want to see an interesting game, and that, my friend, makes it a little bit more interesting.
That spices this up just a bit. Yeah.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It's like, I'm loving that, and I don't know when Alaszun and Goomba are going to get back to Hyrule Castle.
They have no reason to go back.
No reason to
go. They've got it all cleared out. They got the flute out of the big chest. There's no real reason to go back to check for one entrance, right? Like when you've got other stuff to do. So now, if Swamp locks a bunch of stuff, then maybe they get there sooner rather than later. But
well, so here's all right. We're gonna talk about things that are awkward though, and I realize like we just were like, holy moly, we love this for Zelga and Doctor-Marty. They still haven't got that Skullwoods big key, so like they're gonna do all this and go, oh, we're good. We don't have to go back. That Skullwoods big key is gonna be nasty.
Yeah. I mean, I just hate doing Spike Cave in Crosskeys. It's just one of the worst checks.
I mean, I love it better when it's sitting at a flute spot and I've got a flute, but I'm totally with you, right? Yeah. Like, one of my like losses that I enjoyed the most was unfortunately I missed a spike cave that had my CT2, and it was like an absolute beautiful jet of a seed. And it's one of those things where it's like I think about that and like to this day I'm like, wish you hadn't done me dirty. Nice hammer, by the way.
Really, really well done. There's our last pendant. Okay, so that gives us the information as to what we need as viewers.
Yep.
We do need the desert big. I don't see that on anybody's trackers. And that's it.
That's it. I was like, I'm doing the mental math.
I'm looking it over. I know we've seen the back of desert, so that's available as well.
Yeah. Hilariously, that's one of the few things I tracked before things got totally chaotic. That's at King's Tomb.
Oh boy. So you really don't need. Oh, you do need the fire rod. I'm thinking you don't really need the fire rod, but you do to get the swamp small, which could be the go mode. Oh, we do need another sword. Yeah, that's correct.
I mean, Mirror gets us a sword.
Where's GT, man?
I was literally about to say, where's GT? Where are my items? Alaszun going back for Eastern Palace here. Where was the Eastern Big, by the way? Because we saw that and it was in kind of a gnarly spot.
Was it in Meyer, maybe?
It was in Meyer? Yeah. Oof.
All right, front of Turtle Rock for Zelga.
We like this.
So 3 new checks here. Doctor-Marty's back in the pod. He's only got the 1 key, so he's going to go on the bow side again.
Marty's been doing 2 things to see this: living at 3 hearts and living in pod. Like,
yep. All right, big chest here, just a heart container. Alaszun up to a healthy 11 now. Again, one shout out our trackers, Lady Lorelinda and Windfox, doing the tracking for us, doing an excellent job because you and I have been missing. I don't want to throw you under the bus because I do really well, but we've been missing a lot, and it's nice to have them.
Oh yeah, I mean,
doing an excellent job.
Like it's a Monday. Like I'm not exactly on top of my game anyway, but like you and I get to sit back, we get to enjoy it. Windfox and Lady Lorelinda doing again the hard work, so we don't have to. Yeah.
Yep. All right, so the gate in this tower, big key is locked by the fire rod there on the right side of Turtle Rock. So that's interesting. Again, we still haven't seen GT, so we'll see if that comes into play at all. Again, we're just looking for a sword and either
Desert Big, right?
Yeah, the Desert Big, a sword and or a mirror, because the mirror will get us access to that second sword there. Hope everyone's been enjoying this. We do have another match coming up. While this one is actually going on, I'm going to be starting here in about 10 minutes. We've got the other side of the bracket. Shoals and Tedo versus Humbug and Telethar playing game number 1 over on Speed Gaming 2. So,
yeah, hold on. Telethar, you're in chat, bud. What are you doing? You got a game. Let me check the watch that's on my hands.
10 minutes. All right, we got the Turtle Rock Big.
Oof.
Here in Swamp Palace.
Okay.
If you're Zelga, are you going to go left side? You're just going to go immediately back. He's looking for. They're still looking for a little bit more, right? Like they don't have the Eastern Big yet.
I'm looking for a sword, dude. I'm going left side. Maybe. I mean, again, that situation of how far behind do we think we are?
Yeah.
We've got stuff to do. Like, if I find something else here, like, maybe. But at the same time, too, like, I'm 2 swords on Desert Big Key at the very least out. I'm probably going left side.
Yeah.
Okay, Zelga making that pixel look real easy. Good lord, man. Yeah, we're also missing Ice Palace.
That's right. Yeah. We have not seen Ice Palace. Yeah. Good call.
I mean, chat, good call. You and I are just... We're in the back seat, like, you know, music going. It's like, are we there yet? Yeah, okay. And the trackers are in the front seat driving us, yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like, so... Zelga and Marty have also not seen that Meyer shed, which had the Burna.
I think one of them saw it. I think
they found it as a bunny, right? Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I'm not sure. All right, Alaszun into swamp. Won't be able to do much here though. Compass the Skull Woods on the left side. Just some cash.
Okay.
We haven't seen, a couple of different connectors as well. Like, we haven't seen our way up to Dark Death Mountain, the top, like the
floating
floating island.
Yeah.
I'm already doing some cleanup, getting kind of caught up on crystals. Man, I hate no sword for an hour long, right? You're dashing, you gotta stop all of your dashes. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah, and especially too, like I've got an eye on my other monitor for my tracker. Arms tell me where 3 things are, and I am just eating damage.
Yep, for sure.
Choose my words very carefully there. That's
all right. He does have Cane of Burn. We see that in his tracker there, and in Spike Cave. So he's going to get the Skull was big. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean he goes and rushes it, right? Like,
no. He's probably like, haha. Well, so it's a fetch quest, right? Like that co-op mentality of it's a fetch quest, I should probably go get it. Like,
yeah,
maybe.
So Super Bunny Cave, no, excuse me, not Super Bunny, Stuck Rock Cave leads to the top of Bumper, which gives, desert, of course, which led us to Bumper Cave, and then we see the Swamp Big in the back, as well as a shovel, so again, more fetch quests.
Yeah, if you were thinking about maybe I don't want to go back in for left side, that big key's like, hey bud, get back in the dungeon.
Yeah.
So where's Marty going?
All right, Hammer Argus for Zelga.
PowerPoint Argus, one of my favorite bosses of all time.
Oh, go with Silvers. I dig it. I'm afraid of mirroring, so I'm never going to attempt this, but...
Yeah, luckily no mirror here, so we can't do that.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Yeah, right.
I'm with you on the, the quick shot game is too dangerous here. Or quick swap, yeah.
I imagine we see Alaszun Goomba head to Hyrule Castle soon, right?
I've been saying that. At the same time, too, they are rapidly running out of stuff to do, and that is now 4 items, so yeah.
Yeah.
Like, their world is kind of coming to that, in terms of, like, hey, that's the densest thing we have.
Mm-hmm.
So, watching Zelga's quick swap adventures going to the Red Boomerang, going to Samaria.
Yeah. All right. What do we got? Nothing on Argus, but it is going to be another crystal. I imagine you go back in and check the big chest, right?
You've got to. Alright. Marty, where are we going? Because you got the skull what's big. I'm trying to figure out what his route is.
Check hammer pegs here. Zelga is going back in. All right, Alaszun
there we go.
Fire Rod.
Now, both teams have something in Skull Woods that they need. Alaszun and Goomba need that Swamp Small, and Zelga and Marty, for sure, need that flute.
Yep. All right, there's the Fire Rod for Alaszun. Goomba got to finish up Eastern here.
They might feel combat.
Oh, a sword! A sword.
Dude. Ugh.
That's nasty. Okay, so we are now Desert Big from no mode for us as viewers.
And ice entrance, by the by. We still gotta find ice, which... question marks abound. And GT. Where's GT? Where's my 20 item cave? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I've got 3 GT Smalls. I've got the kit. Where is it?
Gosh, Marty constantly 3 hearts or less, man. Every time I look at the screen.
There are certain constants, right? Like, you know, we have good players playing this game and Doctor-Marty at 3 health. Like that, if nothing else, that is something consistent about those.
So at this point, I think Ice is probably mirror locked, right?
It's in mirror locked, or it's something that you and I and the players have missed, but I'm pretty sure that everyone's done the sweep of things now. Let's say we have 1 or 2 small things left. We have the shovel. Like, it's got to be mirror locked. I don't think we've run out of connectors to check, so
Shovel's trash. Gosh, Marty down to half a heart.
Marty's about to game so hard, or he's probably just going to take the death on the Swamp Big. Or go back up. Yeah, he's going back up. Yep. We've not been the top of DEM. I don't think we've had a connector that puts us to...
Yeah, I haven't seen any connectors up there yet. As far as I know.
Either to Hera or to Paradox Top.
Laser Bridge? I don't think we've seen Laser Bridge, right?
I think we saw those items earlier, because I think...
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. We did. We saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Does Zelda do... Does he do Trinex here?
I could see that happening. Alaszun and Goomba about to get their Swamp Small.
I mean, to be honest, they had so little left. I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is showing like the lead that they have.
Yeah.
You know, they've got 1, let's see how many crystals. 4 on Alaszun's, 4 on Goomba, so 8 crystals to
on the crystal count. The spoilers have kept this. I forget what their actual name in this tournament is. Some variation of that. They've kept it. Like between all their league names, they've kept this very close, and I think that's, you know, the smart play, right? Like, we're behind, we're gonna go shallow, we're gonna get our crystals done. I think it's been the right thing. They're just now at the mercy of Alaszun and Goomba having 15 minutes worth of
early Dark World exploration.
Early Dark World exploration, yeah.
Gosh, Marty at 1 heart.
I wish this was crowd control, man. I would pay $20 to fill that man's health bar up. I swear to God.
I know. Oh, he's got the fairy. He's got the fairy. Okay. That changes things a little bit.
Oh yeah, that was his plan. He was waiting for the fairy hearts. No.
Yeah. All right, Trinex kill coming. So good, nicely done.
Yeah.
Oh, live it on the edge here. What do we got? Is this gonna be the mirror? Yep, just the bottle. Does get us the green pendant, and we've seen Saha, so that is a possibility. I mean, it's still locked by some keys that we don't have access to.
It's a couple of keys, but like for the sake of completion and going, the other thing too is what sucks. Like, what is something that you don't think that the other team might do if you're in like a bad position?
Right. You know, they're still missing the flute, right? That's a big one, which gets them Mire, which gets them that other sword. Ooh, we do have Pyramid Fairy.
Okay.
This is logic. This isn't logic for sure.
I absolutely believe it is. Yeah, this could be
or GT, maybe.
This has got to be GT. Like, I keep saying this because I want to believe that there's just it's sitting out there laughing at us. But yeah, that's very much a play. Yeah, like we're really at the dregs here in terms of like what's left. Yeah, chat pointing out that it's technically not the logic, but at the same time too, it easily is something that they've tried to skip all this stuff just to make it happen. So
lamp logic is always one of those things where it's like, sure, I need to find the lamp to do X, Y, or Z, but who cares, right?
Yeah,
especially if you have a fire rod.
It matters when I'm like 1 item out of logic. When I'm 10 out of logic, I'm like, yeah, my lamp was just sitting in a spike cave in like dark shopping mall. Yeah, it's there. Just believe it is. Okay, well here's Ice Palace.
Ice Palace. Okay, so we are just desert big from no mode. We need to find the desert big. Zelga still needs to find. They need to get the flute, and then that will get the Eastern big in Meyer. So if Dr. Marty can check that big chest soon, they might be. Gosh, Dr. Marty.
Marty, brother. Oh no.
Yeah, I think he used all those fairies there too.
And they don't have information as well. So like I don't think
Right.
that they know this. So Marty is like kind of pot committed to doing this.
Yeah.
With not that much magic. And we gotta play this room real close to the chest.
Ten bombs there. All right, do we find the mirror first, or do we find the desert big first?
It's gotta be mirror. Like unless the mirror just happens to be on Landmo and this seat is one of this like the cutest things, but yeah.
Nope, there it is.
There it is. So anyway.
Yeah, yeah. So back to
things that are going to keep Zelga and Marty from the flute for 200.
Yep.
Oh god.
So they're probably going to find the desert big before they find
Meyer? Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
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 Unless, because I've not been keeping track of connectors, and the only person that I would trust, or aside from our trackers, would be Topfile as well. Maybe there's a connector out there that spits us out of Meyer entrance, and this whole seat's just a big guffaw anyway. But like,
well, yeah, like I don't think we've seen the actual Meyer entrance. I don't know if we know what that is because the sword was so late.
Yeah.
Getting it done there from Dr. Marty. Gonna be disappointed that it's just a pendant, but that is going to give them the information they need on their crystals. Alaszun gonna pick up the red bomb here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone was saying Ped, but I think we checked that really early because we had boots, or we had book, so.
The boots would be nice, but they don't do anything for the pedestal.
Sorry, yeah.
Unfortunately.
If I hit my head hard enough, I can read that crap. So yeah, actually.
Yeah. All right. Cold Stare fight. Fighter sword. 11 hearts.
Yeah, but I've got Fire Rod. Yeah. I'm cozy.
Yep. Nicely done. And I think Alaszun and Goomba both know, like, all right.
Yeah.
This has to be something.
In a sense, I think they'll feel bad that they've last located this, but also, like, with how their Moon Pearl played out, I'm not shocked that it did, right?
Yeah. Marty gonna go to ice as well, since the mirror's there. Pretty much go mode it.
Yep.
So what mirror checks do we have? That actually gives Zelga and Dr. Marty another sword.
That gives us DDM. That gives us.
Yes, that's right.
It's not the desert entrance because that's where we got our mitts from that connector over an hour ago, by the way. Yep. So I think it's just mount. It's like it's K45. It's those checks.
K45 we actually came out of, so we don't have that. We have Graveyard Ledge for sure.
Good call, yeah.
It's not a ton, but it is something, and GT is out there. So
yeah. Yeah, we've also been... The funny thing, too, is the mirror shockingly only does so much, because we've been spit out of top of castle. We've seen desert left and back.
Yep.
So, yeah. It's just enough, but it's also just enough, again, to keep Marty from ever turning in that Skullwood's big.
That Skullwood's big, yep. Unfortunate, yep. We're going to take a look at Graveyard Ledge from Zelga here. Nothing.
The best case for them would actually be that GT is sitting in the mire area.
Oh, at the actual mire entrance.
At actual mire entrance, yeah. Because then your world is suddenly so much smaller, and then they're off to like the what did we leave behind.
Yeah, I think just unfortunately for Marty and Zelga, they're just behind, and it's going to be hard for them to find a way to make up that time.
Yeah. I think Tough pointing out something that I think has been said once, but I think they know that there's very little left, and that probably had to have been something, but they might just be thinking that it's the lamp, so they're probably going to try and blow past it now, and I respect that.
Here's the thing: it's like it's easy to put stuff together. Let me rephrase that. It's easier to put things together on your own, surprisingly, because you have all the information. You entered all those entrances. You put it together, but so much of it is communication. And there's GT, by the way.
Yeah, there's GT. Yeah.
So if we find the desert big here, which I think is very likely, they're still going to go because they're still looking for the flute and they're still looking for the eastern big. So
yeah, we have it. Okay, I would say we have a GT big on 2 players. I forget where it was, but like that's certainly I think a 1-item cave as well. Haha. But at the end of the climb. But yeah, we're hoping we find the desert big sooner rather than later. But yeah, I mean, once again, just something else keeping the spoilers from that flute. Again, they'll need it at some point, obviously, because it's even with the connector, or I guess if they find the connector. But yeah, Zelga's probably going to full clear this basement, because one thing that you've talked about, and like speaking of like trying to piece this together, you said early on they don't do the shared tracker, right? That makes this even harder because if I've got a shared tracker in front of me and Arm's like, hey, we're missing stuff, I can at least like look at that. I don't know about you, but like if I'm doing info share, I've got like a bunch of entrances. I'm like, yeah, you did this, right? Yeah.
Yeah, if you ask Moogle, that's the one thing is I'm always asking, like, let's say one of us forgets to mark something off, like, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? And he's probably like, all right, dude, I did it, or relax. But yeah, I'm always trying to make sure that I'm, it's hard to piece it all together when you don't see it in front of you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm the same way with Arm, by the way. I'm like, hey, did we do this? He's like, yeah, man, we did this. And like,
yeah. All right, so we got Hera Small, and we've got Half Magic on the right side of GT. And I imagine Alassun's going to find his way over to GT here relatively soon, knowing where like that bridge connector is.
Yeah.
Just looking for that desert big. Oh, he's going to pick up his tempered. I like that.
I dig it, yeah. Get it now.
Yep.
That way I don't have to think about it.
Yep. Have a pod key.
I mean, but also, too, this is a bunch of entrances up here that we've not been able to touch, so this is just a really convenient, like, yeah, I'll take this.
Yep.
There it is.
Yeah. Where was it?
That was Ether's tablet, so they are in go mode.
Ooh, boy.
That is a very empty GT.
Oh man, that is just, sometimes rando just doesn't go your way, and that's kind of the way it's been for Zelga and Dr. Marty in this
Yeah.
in these two races.
Yeah, this is... Both of these seeds were nasty in their own right.
It is rough. Those Moon Pros are rough.
Those Moon Pros were rough. Goomba, by the way. Oh yeah, I do need to get that book out of the Super Bunny from like an hour ago.
Oh man. All right, so this is gonna be crystal number 7 for Alaszun. He's just about ready to kill Ganon, and that's really convenient for both Alaszun and Goomba. Check the sword, get your sword. Oh, and hey, go mode happens to be right here as well.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's so nice. And I mean, the same for Doc-Marty was like, shit, I need a sword. Like, gotta get that real quick. Yeah, but they're still missing that Eastern Big Bar.
Yeah. Turns out that flute, damn Spike Cave. that check is just awful. But that's a go mode for Goomba as well. And they're about to take this one and wrap up a trip to the finals of the 216 podcast co-op Crosskeys tournament. Desert right next to
really convenient.
Super convenient, yeah. I'm going to plug the 216 podcast, new episode today with Magno, 216pod.com. Check it out. Come hang out in our Discord. Been following a lot of this co-op stuff, and a lot of cool people hang out over there.
I really dig, like I know you've been putting in so much work, but like this, I know you were talking about getting that break in for 216, but I'm kind of glad that you didn't, because these episodes have been so good, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah, today with Magno, the episode with Magno was a lot of fun. Magno's a good dude. All right, Ganon. Is Alaszun on to phase 3 of Ganon here already? And with doubles arrows, down goes Ganon, and Alaszun getting ready to cross that bridge. Get your GGs in chat for Alaszun. He's gonna be our first finisher today. Getting ready to stamp his ticket to the finals. And he finishes with a time of 1:24.20. Goomba finishing up Desert. Hop skipping away right over to Ganon and fall in the hole and get ready to take his fight to Ganon now.
Yeah, the coziest 8-heart green male Ganon you've ever seen.
Yep. Oh, nice hug there. Oh, he's got nothing. I mean, he does need to watch his magic, right? Like, he does have to light the torches still, but I think he's got it all right. Just get past these warps. And one more. You're gonna have to light the torches again.
Thank God for that lamp.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And get your GGs for Goomba as he gets ready to cross the bridge, and that will officially put Alaszun and Goomba into the finals of the 216 Podcast Co-op Crosskeys tournament. So GG's to them, and that is going to be a forfeit from Zelga and Doctor-Marty. So get your GG's in them for them as well. Put in a hell of a run in this tournament. Going 5-1 is no easy feat. When you talked about how stacked this tournament was, it really was. It was a super stacked tournament. So making it into the brackets was super tough. And the Moon Pearl and just both seeds was just a beast, and they couldn't get past that really. And but man, what a heck of a run for them, and excited to get a chance to talk to them.
Oh yeah.
What a race, dude. What a race.
I'm excited just to sit back and let them talk. Like, this is going to be good.
Hello?
Joined by Alaszun. GG's, my dude.
Yeah, so it turns out late mirror sucks unless you find your go mode on the first check after you get your mirror.
Yeah. I mean, that Moon Pearl, the story of both seeds really was the Moon Pearl, right? Like, you guys got it early game 1, they got it super late in game 2. It wasn't quite the difference, time difference in this one, but you guys did pull out that Moon Pearl a little bit earlier than Zelga and Doctor-Marty. Do you want to welcome in Alaszun, Goomba, and Zelga here?
Hey, GG's, man.
I mean, just the Moon Pearl, right? Like,
it was bad.
Yeah.
Wasn't good.
I felt really, really bad for Goomba because he's like struggling in the blind fight, and I walk in and I find Waterfall Fairy and toss the bottle. It's like, here's a fairy. I'm like, sorry, bud. I got some bad news for you if you die.
I really wanted to check that entrance before I committed to Thieves in case there was like a sword or a shop so I could buy a potion or anything, but I didn't want to like walk around those stupid red tech types again.
Did you think about leaving Goomba after you died?
I might have if the fairy bottle wasn't right there.
I bet he would have without the fairy bottle. And I was going to encourage him because I'm like, I'm here, I have a fairy, like, I can take care of this, and if it's something, then we'll know. And then Goomba's like, it's the pearl, and I'm like, alright, well, I guess I'm getting my pearl in about 35 seconds here.
Yeah, that was... I mean, the sea just forced you into that fight. So, Zelga, was there, Doctor-Marty had a pretty good fight, and then just kind of got away from him at the very end there. Was there ever thought about going back?
I told him not to worry about it because I was going to have to head that way for my pod big. And I figured, even when I got there, I was like, oh, I have the map to this. This is a pendant, so don't worry about it, man. I'll try it, and if I die, whatever. And then, oh, it's the pearl. Cool.
Yeah.
We had a little bit left besides that, but we didn't have a lot left besides that.
No, I mean, you guys were all in that general area around the same time. I think Goomba and Alaszun, you got there a little bit earlier, but it was close. And, Goomba going back and then getting that pearl, and then Doctor-Marty dying, and then not going back just kind of, again, separated things that allowed Alaszun and Goomba to kind of start into the Dark World a bit sooner than Zelga and Marty. And then, Zelga, you got that fire rod, you got the swamp small, and
yeah,
I was actually really worried. So I didn't know how to feel at the pearl. I didn't feel like we were probably particularly behind, but I wasn't sure how to feel. Like I was happy that we managed to that we managed to get the blinds done. GG's, Marty.
Welcome, Marty.
Thanks, guys. GG's. Horrible time.
Yeah, I would say that was as bad of a seed as yesterday. It was a much faster seed, but it was just as bad of a seed.
Well, 2 days ago, but yes, I agree.
Oh god, yeah, 2 days ago, whatever. Time isn't real.
True.
Feel you, dog.
Marty, I got a question for you, man. Do you have heart beeps on when you're at full health? Because you have an addiction to...
Yeah, I knew Clear Mouse was going to be so mad at me too. I should have so disappointed yesterday. But no,
I genuinely don't understand how people play with heart beeps. And they probably just don't have anxiety conditions the way that I do. But I get so nervous when the heart is beeping, I have to turn them off, or my hand's just gonna shake while my hearts are beeping.
And then the secret is to be anxious all the time. Then it makes no difference.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that
Alright,
is
so
not my secret. Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Marty and Zelga, kind of just tell me how you guys were feeling throughout the seed. I don't know if you guys know this, but you needed to do Skull Woods, Big Chest to get your flute, and that would have got you Meyer and the Eastern Big. But
Yeah.
going through it, how were you guys feeling, in the early game, mid game, and then towards the end?
Honestly, I didn't feel like we were in that bad a shape. Like I knew it was really gross in terms of getting to the Pearl, but I knew that like we had done some things okay, and especially when getting the Fire Rod and then like the Swamp Small and that leads to Ice in the Mirror. Like I thought we were still actually in an okay position, but since we had the Fire Rod and didn't have the Skull Woods Big when we got to that area, it was never happening.
So I felt really good when I got that flute, because I'm pretty diligent about checking Spike Cave, especially in this mode when I'm like, here's the Key of Burnout, we have a glove, we have a hammer, this is standing there, this feels kind of weird to me, and I saw the big key and I'm like, oh baby, and then I saw the Skullwoods for it and I'm like, oh come on man. And then it was the flute and I'm like, okay, this is pretty good, and then I ended up fluting to the Meyer area, found Meyer. You ever play NBA Jam and like when you make 3 shots in a row you get on fire and you can't miss? That's kind of what I felt like in the Meyer area, because literally
we spend all our time playing Zelda. We don't have time to play NBA Jam.
We spent all our time
literally I
clearing
walked
GT.
into Meyer and I'm like, okay, I should do this, but let me check the rest of this to see if I can get a fire source or a small key, and I walk over to the last entrance like, it's a small key tomorrow. I'm like, oh, let's go. Like, let me check the big chest to see if I get a fire source before I go over to the left side. It's like, it's the lamp! And I'm just sitting here cackling like a maniac because I'm like, I cannot miss right now, guys.
Yeah. We called it too. I was like, oh, well, you're here. Like, you have to. It's a 4-item cave. Obviously, kind of. It's like, yeah.
It felt so bad to go in with no key and no fire source.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nope, you're just going to full clear it. All right, okay, cool, whatever. Let me check the mushroom to see if Goomba needs it. May as well kill Mothheal while I'm here.
Yeah.
Ended up getting crystal information from that. Because there was a really weird position where it was like, we might not need the mirror here. Like, we might legit just be Sword and Desert Big and Swamp Small from Go. And so we were wondering, like, maybe we're going to find Ice Palace here, and we're just going to, like, walk into it, and it's going to be, here's the Desert Big, and you're in Go mode. And obviously it was the mirror instead, but, I mean, you're going to go get that sword when you get the mirror, and then if one of you has the book, I assume, and then you get the Desert Big, and then you're done. And so then the flute kind of becomes the only missable real item there for people, it feels like.
Yeah, unfortunately for Zelga and Dr. Marty, they found GT instead. And that being completely empty,
I got a Hera key.
Yeah, half magic.
Yeah.
I triple dipped Skullwoods. That was fun.
Yeah.
I double dipped Skullwoods. Like,
Well,
even going with the big key, and I'm like, the entrance is probably nothing. Get the fire rod, it's like, all right, whatever, game.
Yeah, we did kind of last location the fire rod, which was maybe not ideal, but
We wouldn't have last location the fire rod if I weren't a moron. I got halfway to Dark Cross and realized I forgot to actually steal the key. And then I'm like, all right, you know what? This isn't worth it at this point. I'm just saving and quitting. Like, this is already kind of a dumb play. I shouldn't be doing this with the options that we have open. Instead of trying to correct this, I'm just saving and quitting and being done. And then, of course, the back was nothing. It was just the fire rod and Dark Cross.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's anything to miss, it's that Fire Rod. It makes everything fall into place perfectly.
Oh, but yeah, I mean, everything was just on a line after that fire rod. Like, we literally made no decisions. It was, I mean, we realized eventually that, oh, hold on, I had a request from someone to check what was actually in the Meyer entrance. Because I didn't have a sword, I didn't have Bombos when I got there, and it got marked off on our tracker on accident, and we realized about the time we're getting to Pyramid Ferry, oh wait, we still have this. So I never actually checked what was in the Meyer entrance.
Yeah, we were wondering too, because, obviously, as you all kind of talked in the race room, that the flute was there. It was like, if there was a world where you can circumvent that, it's nice, you find a connector there with the mirror. But the thing too is that that difference in time was just enough. And then Zari, y'all said you weren't feeling too bad. It's like, I think the strategy after, like, the world splitting up, because, like, Goomba and Alaszun, y'all were kind of, like, deep. Like, you had dungeons to do and everything else, and, like, a lot of the big keys kind of fell into place. On the other side, Zelga Marty, y'all actually had, like, a lot, like, y'all swept the world immediately, and that helped you find these things. You find Eastern, obviously, you kind of back out. But you get your Samaria really quickly. You get flippers, and at one point, when you pulled the Swamp Small out of the back, it's like there's a very real chance that that is a turning point. If you can find another way back to the mire, because of just where everything else. And then unfortunately, with the Fire Rod kind of putting the end game on a line and the Ice Palace and everything else, it was a little rough.
Yeah.
It was like, by the way, just to answer questions for people who had, Mire entrance was the front of Tavern, so not really anything you can do there.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I'm
those
pretty
swords
sure
are
we were
terrible,
basically
right?
out of connectors. So
Yeah.
Oh, these swords were awful.
Did we find where the third and fourth sword were?
Yeah.
There's one on the mountain.
Oh, did you guys skip Swamp Big?
Swamp Big and
Yeah.
Spec Rock. That's it.
Oh, sorry, Mire. Mire had a sword.
Oh,
That was our first sword.
Yeah, that was our first.
Mire lobby.
What's your
had a
first sword, man?
Well, if you get a flute, that's really easy.
Yeah.
Goomba found Canis Samaria, and I got the Skullwoods Big Key before I went there, and so I'm going to check that at that point. Obviously, like it was one of those things where like as soon as that flute popped, I actually felt really good about it, and then I felt less good about it afterwards because I figured if you are late to that Fire Rod, or like even if someone is going back there to get the Swamp Small Key, like it seemed likely to me that one of you was going to hit Spike Cave before you made that trip, and so you were going to pick up the flute then. But if neither of you did, like that is eminently understandable how that goes. So
It was more from our perspective. Marty had the Skullwoods Big, but Zelga literally kept finding, oh hey, here's Swamp. Oh hey, here's a sword. Oh hey, here's Ice Palace. So literally at probably every juncture of like, I've got 10 seconds, I can run up and check this. Zelga kept like pulling him by the nose, like
right.
Yeah.
I feel
much,
like
yeah.
Marty was headed to Skullwoods as I found the sword in the big chest of Swamp, and I was like, "You have to just come to Swamp now."
Yeah, I literally saw that because I think Marty was going up and then like zoomed back. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I mean it was. I mean that's a nasty placement. Swamp Big is always Skull Big is always a nasty chest. And so if it's in a bad place like it was, and you find something there, like you just instantly feel really, really good about your position in the seed at that point.
Yeah, I don't even feel too bad about like losing this one. Like this is Rando 101. Sometimes you just have crap luck with the chest you choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing to feel bad about on our side. I really don't think so. Like, I know that we had a couple of boss struggles and things like that, but at the end of the day, I think we still played both of these seeds pretty well and just got completely destroyed, and that's how it works sometimes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
rando.
That really is just random. And I don't think there is a single high-level player who will ever argue that, like, oh, I always beat this person. There's nothing like there's always ways for you to lose. Like, you can lose to people 3 standard deviations below you if the chips break wrong for you.
What's the phrase? There's no amount of money, manpower, or intelligence that ever pumps someone being stupid.
Yeah.
That's
He
written on
called
my
you
mirror,
stupid
man.
right there, by the way.
Well, GG's to you all. We'll get a chance to talk to you guys here in the final. So GG's on that.
Thank you. I mean, GG's to Zelga Marty. Like, you guys are phenomenal at the game. Like, I said this last time, but I'm like, I've been knocked out of so many tournaments by Zelga.
Hey, who hasn't?
That's true. It's just like, hey, like, we're all good players here at this point, in spite of what any of us may say while we're playing the game. I don't know about you, but the number of I'm terrible at this games I utter per seed is probably about 10 or 15.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I mean, that Ganon fight was not it, so I'm pretty terrible, but
I liked my damage table check on the Snapdragon there. That was a little bit of a heart attack moment.
Yeah, I've never seen people pop Burna on that screen, but man, getting DLC.
I mean, it was one of those things where it's like, you know what? Like, if I die here, like, it's catastrophic. Why even take the risk?
No, for sure.
And literally, I literally said to Goomba before I bombed it, I'm like, if this is Ice Palace, I'm walking into a Freezor because I want my health back.
I mean, yeah, I'm not doing Ice Palace with like 1 heart. That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah.
And then Zelga and Dr. Marty, this is where we say goodbye. GG's to you guys. I hope you had a good tournament. I hope you enjoyed your time here. And getting to the brackets was huge. Only 4 teams made it. So GG's to you. I hope you guys had a good time.
Yeah, thank you. I had a great time. I love playing the co-op. I love Crosskeys. Marty helps make it fun. And I mean, we've had some great races, and it's just a lot of fun. Thank you, Fear, for putting on the event. And yeah, there's no shame losing. Like, if you had put me on the list of like all the teams I saw, I didn't think we'd make brackets. I really didn't. And then
there are so many good teams that didn't make brackets.
Exactly. And if there was on my list of like, yeah, they'll make brackets, is absolutely Alaszun and Goomba. So there's no shame losing this, and there's no surprise that they're going to be moving on here. They're a really great team. GG's, everyone. Thanks for putting on a great event, and I'll let Marty go.
Yeah, I'll just echo everything he said. Like, it was an excellent tournament, great fun to do. Thanks again for like dreaming up this chaos for us to dance to your marionette strings. But it's absolutely a great time, and yeah, getting to the brackets is unbelievable, and I'm absolutely happy to lose to these guys any day. So yeah, good luck with going forward, and hope you can take out whatever Titans you're up against next.
It's going to be scary.
Yeah, speaking
Nice
of,
segue.
speaking of, on Speed Gaming 2 right now, 20 minutes in, we've got Team Troreg versus Nick Hare Basement Cage, which is Schulzer and Tedo versus Telethar and Humbug. So why don't you just go over to Speed Gaming 2 and check that out. Shout outs to our trackers once again, Lady Laura Linda and Win Fox, doing an awesome job tracking for us. And Zaf, always a pleasure, man. I don't even know if we've got a combo before. This might be
This is our first
time.
Yeah.
A pleasure, man. Absolute
Dude,
pleasure.
thank you so
Glad we got
much.
to do it. All right, that's going to do it for us. Head over to Speed Gaming 2. Check out game number 1 of the other side of the bracket. Appreciate you all. Go listen to 216.